Penn State 46, Nevada 11. The Nittany Lions win their season opener here at Beaver Stadium. That's Sean Fitz, Nate Bauer. I'm Greg Pickle from Blue White Illustrated. Sean, a very unique score on a very unique day here at Beaver Stadium. The renovations went well. You might be able to see them over our shoulder. And for the most part, Penn State played well, but has plenty to clean up.
Yeah, you might be able to see the flashing in our faces from the LED strips that are going on here. They're quite bright. It looks pretty good, though. Sort of a workmanlike performance from Penn State. Obviously, you don't want to come away from a game against Nevada saying that, but Penn State took care of business for the most part. You can sort of split hairs here and say they should have finished some more drives, got a lot of field goals that should have been touchdowns, especially on short fields. That's something Penn State's got to clean up on offense. They do. I think they'll be fine. I think we saw some really good things today from a structural soundness from both the offense and the defense.
Nate, your top takeaway today?
The end of the first half, honestly, and I can't get it out of my mind. I just thought that was like execution personified, which to me is kind of how you grade games like this, is just small individual things, right? They're going to win the game. You know that. They know that. Everybody knows that. Nevada knows that. Okay, how do you execute in very specific, right? It's these in-game moments. Situational football. That's the line. Situational football. That Penn State, I thought, especially at the end of the first half, with the way they converted that fourth down, right, and just the operationally how that transpired, I thought was, the type of thing that they will come out of this game feeling really good about. The other stuff's the other stuff, right? James Franklin talked about the offensive line and how Nevada was stacking the box. They weren't going to let Nick Singleton and Katron Allen run. But guess what? They were able to distribute the ball to these new transfer receivers. The transfer receivers were good. Credit where it's due, right? I was a question guy, but they were pretty good. They made, it wasn't that they were contested catches so much as it was pitch and catch. And some of those more difficult catches that they had on the sideline I thought were really impressive.
Sean, that covers one of the highlights of this game. The other one, obviously, Dani Dennis-Sutton, 2 forced fumbles, a sack, I think 5 tackles overall. Just thoughts on his day.
He was playing at another level, and you would expect that for a guy that thinks he's the best defensive end in the country, a guy that thinks he's an All-American. Obviously, there's some really good defensive ends out there, but, it exceeded expectations, and you hate to say that, again, against Nevada, but he was playing at a different speed. He forced 2 fumbles, went out and made plays. It wasn't like things were coming to him, and it just he kind of accepted it. He went out and made them, and he actually got close on a couple other plays. He had the game's biggest hit on a guy that didn't even have the football. I mean, that because he closed so fast, did so well. So I think that is it's less about what he did, more about how he looked doing it, and he looked just unbelievable today. I mean, and you don't want him to peak too early, but at the same time, if that's what they get out of Dani Dennis-Sutton, you feel really good about the guy that can come in and sort of absorb what Abdul Carter did last year as a twitchy pass rusher. He's down 10 pounds. He slimmed down in the offseason, and he's pretty well driven. He wants to be a first-round pick. He wants to be the 3rd straight first-round pick for Penn State at defensive end, and he showed today that he's got the talent to do it.
Nate, I'll ask you and I'll ask Sean, and we'll get out of this light show. What is your big thought, question, whatever, moving forward?
I want to have one thing about Dani.
Yeah.
I had questions about what he would look like post-Abdul, right? Like, just what's the impact and the potential for that to be a negative impact when he became the focal point as opposed to Abdul just being the freak that he is. And it was very much the opposite of what I thought it might be, right? With the attention on him, it was almost like he didn't have as much of an opportunity to shine last year because the play was already made, because you know that Abdul is what he is. I don't think Dani's the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. He might be a first rounder, right? He might have started the process of establishing who and what he can be at that next level.
We can talk about that quick. I mean, he's a different kind of player. He's 6'5", 265, 270 or whatever he is, and he's never been the quick twitch guy that Chop Robinson was, that Abdul Carter was, and because of that, you think, dude, maybe the sack numbers come down, just because that's the guy that does it in the college game, right? The guy that can get around the offensive tackle and make it happen. Penn State maybe thought they had that in Max Granville. He's obviously out for the long term with an injury this summer, but Penn State was really looking for that. Was freshman Chaz Coleman going to be that guy? I think Dani showed that, hey, I kind of got a say in this as well, and yeah, he's almost the total package. He's going to continue to get better. As I said, you don't want to see him peak this early in the season. I don't think that's what's going to happen here, but You put him beside Zane Durant, and you got a chance against everybody because those guys are two fantastic football players.
Final thoughts?
Yeah, you know,
It was Nevada.
see you on September 27th, right? I mean, I just think that we're going to repeat ourselves quite a bit over the next month, and that's fine. But this should be an interesting place come the end of September.
Yeah. Sean, final thought?
The transfers, Kyron Hudson, 6 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown. He had a contested catch on the sideline. It was reviewed and was confirmed, or whatever they upheld, whatever they say now. But he looked the part as well. He looked like he could carry himself as a, if not a number one receiver, with Trevor Pena doing some good things as well. But the floor from that unit looks like it took a step up. We don't want to get too far ahead of it because it is Nevada, and I get that. But those guys look like they belonged out there. They look like they have a good rapport with Drew Allar, who we really haven't talked about much, but he was 22 of 26, threw the ball pretty well. I think sure you'd like to have some back. That's every quarterback.
Right.
But you saw a connection there that you feel pretty good about. And I think Penn State went away from their tight ends and toward their receivers for a reason, because they need to have those guys that make plays. Did a good job. Also from the transfer portal, Amari Campbell on defense looked pretty good. He closes really well. He's not the biggest guy out there, but closes really well, did a really good job. Again, they're going to go back to the tape, and they're going to find big holes in this. People are going to watch this right away and focus maybe on the offensive line, some of the chunk plays that Nevada got. But when you go back to the tape, I think you're going to see some really good things structurally from both sides of the wall.
Yeah, most importantly, Penn State got out of here healthy as well. Use promo code PSU20, get 20% off Roback. Sean got his Roback on. Check that out, and check out the Blue White Illustrated YouTube channel. James Franklin's press conference is now live. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time from Beaver Stadium. Visit us at BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. It's $1 for 1 week, and you get a courtesy subscription to The Athletic as well. We'll talk to you guys next week.